Free thinking, innovative, open minded. Tommy Nation Politics, guys.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Tommy Nation Politics.
Hi guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. I'm here with Wyatt O'Brien, who is a novelist for fiction of LGBTQ plus, fiction, and he's also a very good podcaster in his own right. I've been watching a lot of his videos. This close out Tommy Nation Politics celebration of Pride. I want to talk to some people in the community and get their feel on the current events of the political day. So, without further ado, here's my guest today, Wyatt. And Wyatt, how's it going today? How's it going?
Doing great, Tommy. Listen, thank you for having me. My full name is Wyatt O'Brien Evans.
Wyatt O'Brien Evans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Wyatt. So you have a
yes.
You said you were immersed in your book tour, which is, I guess, it's the Never Tear Us Apart book. Is that correct?
Exactly. It's the Nothing Can Tear Us Apart Shattered. I write a series, Tommy, called Nothing Can Tear Us Apart, and Shattered is the brand new installment.
Shattered is a brand new installment. Okay, so let's take a look at this video.
Yeah.
So that was Nothing Can Tear Us Apart, Shattered. So I always
Absolutely.
have to, ask an artist what to write. Like, how do you get inspired to write, Wyatt? What's your inspiration?
Well, that's a very good question. I've always wanted to write. As a little kid, I would write poetry. I would write and draw comic books. I have 2 BA degrees in journalism and political science from the George Washington University in metropolitan Washington, D.C. So I've always loved writing, journalistically, and writing fiction and writing nonfiction. And I began to write the Nothing Can Tear Us Apart series, Tommy, because I wanted to talk about something real where LGBTQ, gay, or same gender loving men were concerned. And the major theme of the Nothing Can Tear Us Apart series is intimate partner violence and abuse. The acronym is IPVA, and that's simply domestic violence and abuse within the LGBTQ community. So I said to myself, if I'm going to write a novel, I wanted it to be as real as possible. I wanted to talk about gay SGL men, particularly men of color, and I wanted to explore the whole IPVA angle.
The IPVA angle, is that prevalent in gay colored relationships? Is that an ongoing theme, or?
Yeah, it is. Actually, intimate partner violence and abuse is more prevalent within the LGBTQ plus community than people want to acknowledge. It's like, Tommy, the elephant in the room is in the closet. And as a journalist, that's one of the major topics that I deal with. And I'm also a survivor of intimate partner violence and abuse. So I wanted to share, I wanted to make the novel as real as possible and that's why I included it in the novel, in the series of novels.
Okay.
Yep.
It's prevalent, and I just because it's first of all, let me be real with you. I haven't been in a relationship since like 2012. So, like, you know, I kind of given up
Okay.
on that whole aspect, mostly because I feel like most of the country is more into themselves and their parties and their bandwagon mentality.
Right.
And first of all, I want to know exactly like your politics. What exactly is your politics, right?
You mean political, or are you talking LGBTQ plus feelings,
Why don't you give me a general
opinions, that sort of?
a general perspective, and then go into that that the whole LGBT part. That's very interesting.
Well, I am a registered Democrat, so I lean to the Democratic Party. I consider myself progressive, you know, having progressive thoughts and ideas and ideals, that sort of thing. Um, so yeah, as far as LGBTQ plus, um, I'm definitely a Democrat because I don't think the Republicans are doing anything for, you know, worthwhile for the LGBTQ plus community. Actually, they're demonizing our community, you know, and using, you know, drag queens and all of that nonsense, you know, as a hammer to hit you over the head with. So
Right.
definitely progressive, definitely Democrat, because I just don't feel that the Republicans have anything to offer. They don't have any policy prescriptions. You know, what do they have actually, you know?
So that's an interesting response. I would ask, what do the Democrats have as far as policy to make you to keep you as a registered Democrat? Um, do they have some policy that would help uh, LGBTQ people?
Yeah,
I don't believe so. Okay.
yeah, I do. If nothing, I mean, you know, each party has its deficits, but definitely just overall, I mean, who wants to be a Republican these days? I mean, when you really think about it,
I don't understand how anybody could be want to be either. Because
um,
like my big
okay.
these two parties have been are systemic remnants of a systemically racist system in which their first compromise was free states or slave states. They've grown from that compromise into infiltrating the lives of the working class, outsourcing jobs, raising taxes, not on the wealthy, but on the middle class, and making the tax cuts, the Bush tax cuts, permanent. This is what the president's done. They've later gotten us into credit card debt, predatory loan debt, which Joe Biden was the father of, in the prison industrial complex. And so his best achievement, he says to date, is to work with the Republican leadership to make sure that they can compromise. Their last compromise has left workers and students in a whole big of a hole while raising the deficit, which is they say they're fiscally conservative. This is what our president, the Democratic president, wants to be. Uh,
Well,
so I don't know any of this, but I'm sorry to get off on a tangent, but
yeah.
it's just like it's funny.
Well, yeah, you
You guys
know,
don't have a
yeah, you know, we could talk about this for hours, which I really don't want to do.
yeah.
So, you know, I think we have to agree to disagree with this one. So, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So because the facts are on my side. But
maybe.
anyways, so
Go ahead.
all right, so where was I? I said so. What I was my point? I was the politics of it all is that this could be, and this is a question, so I don't know for sure, but this could be one of those things that the Republicans could or conservatives could lean onto because we're so violent. You know, they already think we're violent. Black people. Black people are violent. You know, we don't have fathers and stuff like that. Now, do you think that this theme of violence and domestic violence could actually play into their already delusional, perception of us?
No, I mean, you could ask that question of the domestic violence and abuse within the heterosexual population. So, no, I don't. No, I don't think so. Um, I don't. Not at all.
Why is that? Why is that?
I just don't.
Okay. Well, that was a shorter response than I was going for. Um, so let's see. So this novel is something to make and to make real. And so, is it having good reviews? Is it having good reviews in the community?
Yeah, it is very, very real. It's a three-dimensional portrait of two gay or SGL, same gender loving men of color who are upwardly mobile, um, who are working hard to make their monogamous relationship, to keep it alive and thriving, even against possibly insurmountable odds. And I'm so proud of it because it's getting rave reviews across the board, some solid, strong reviews. And one thing that I'm most proud of about it is that it has universal appeal. It is appealing to the heterosexual, the bisexual, the gay, all of the audiences within the LGBTQ community. So I am really proud of it. And I'm on a national tour right now. So it's doing pretty well.
And what are the things that the audience of your book is asking you if when you're meeting them? What are any of the questions that they're asking you at all about the book? Or
Oh, most definitely. I mean, I want people to ask me about the book. Um,
what are they
you know,
asking?
well, they're asking, first of all, they're happy that I'm addressing intimate partner violence and abuse. They're asking questions like, can two gay men of color actually have a monogamous relationship, which they can? So the comments, the feedback that I'm getting are really exceptional, and I'm really very proud of it.
So how can two gay men have a monogamous relationship? That's a question I want to know.
How can two straight people have a monogamous relationship?
Well, I mean, I already know the argument to that. The
Well,
argument to that
but
is, of course, children. That's how.
no, not necessarily. So, I mean, gay people, LGBTQ people have the same values and morals and dreams and hopes that heterosexual people have. So if you ask the question that you just asked, I have to hit you with, how can straight people have a monogamous relationship?
Well, in law, because you said you got your degree in political science and stuff like that, so you might have gone through the law. And one of the key aspects of law is mens rea, which is motive. Motivation for straight people to stay in relationships is far more different than gay relationships because we have
Why?
different motivations.
Why?
For one, straight people, of course, have economic motivations, right? Which is the same as
Well,
gay straight people as well.
I find your argument flawed. I really, really do, because here's the bottom line: people are people, humans are humans. I believe that most people, whatever their sexual orientation is, want pretty much the same thing as each other. Straight people want to be in love. Most most people across the board want to be in love. They probably want to have children. They probably want to have economic security. They probably want to have companionship. So to me, and a lot of people will echo what I'm saying, there's no difference.
And I'm
There's
saying
no difference.
with every single human being on the planet, there's different motivations on
There,
why you do things. That's why we have different occupations. We have different artists that we like to listen to. We all have
no,
different motivations and different. We don't have. We're all
no,
the same. We're all a big blob. We're all the same.
no. What you don't seem to understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I think the question you're asking me is loaded anyway.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that most people, be they gay, straight, bisexual, pretty much want the same thing. They want companionship. They probably want to have kids. They want to have economic security. They want those things. That's what I'm saying. And I think most people would would say the same thing as I'm saying. So
Most people.
yeah,
Sounds
most
like
most
something what Trump would say. Many people are
no
saying this.
no no
But okay.
no listen, we're not doing that.
Many. What are we
No,
not doing? What are we not doing?
no, we're not doing that.
What are we not doing?
We're not doing. Let's move on, please.
I mean,
Go
we're
ahead.
moving on so fast, and you're like saying that I
No,
have
no,
loaded questions.
no.
All of the things that I'm asking, all the things that I'm truly wondering,
No.
like you're kind of like you have like a defense mechanism going on.
No, I'm not. I'm just
So
being,
I don't even know what to ask next, honestly. I'm afraid it's gonna get worse.
No, it's no, it's not. I'm just answering your questions.
Okay,
I just find that last question you asked me is kind of silly. But let's move on to something else.
I mean, first of all, what I want to know is the motivations. That's the question that I want to know because the motivations are different. The mens rea is different in relationships because different relationships exist. Be they monogamous or polygamous, these relationships are different in every single case. And in the case of LGBTQ community, we have different economic motivations. We have different child motivations. A lot of us don't want to have kids. A lot of us think that this world is about to be nuked. Let's just put it that way. So why would we want to bring children into a world where that happens? So, especially in a generational time, and there's a generational care about motivations and inspiration. The millennials have different motivations and inspirations than the boomers do. And so does Generation X. So how you can sit there and tell me that we're all the same, be that as we have different regional, we have different generational wants and needs. I find that kind of ridiculous.
Tommy, first of all, calm down. That's what you need to do.
Well, I don't appreciate you telling me to move on my show and then telling me I have a loaded question.
Tommy, first of all, calm down.
That's why I'm upset.
Well, no, don't be upset.
Tommy, I can have a reason to be upset.
Tommy is not that deep.
My anger is justified.
Tommy, Tommy,
let's move on. Hey, let's move on.
No, I haven't finished, please. I'm your guest.
Okay. So now you know how it feels. Now you know how it feels to say let's move on.
Tommy, listen, I'm cool. I mean, I find this very entertaining.
Me too.
When I tell you what, I've answered your question, but I tell you what, when I do a massive study about the motivations, et cetera, I'll be more than happy to come back on your show and give you those findings. But right now, I haven't done a study yet. So, but when I finish that study, I'll be more than happy to come back on the show and reveal my findings. Okay.
So what are the other projects that you're working on? Anything else?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I'm putting together the next book. I have a podcast. I have my journalistic endeavors. So I wear a lot of different hats.
And I saw that your article on the Pride. So could you give the audience just a summarization of what the article that you'd written on about Pride today?
Well, it's the history of Pride. The origins of Pride, the need for Pride. I talk about the need for Black Pride, and also the history of the rainbow flag. So it's a pretty comprehensive article. So what you should do, if you like, is to go to WyattEvans.com. I'm not going to reveal all about the article, but go to WyattEvans.com and go to the article section, and it's right there.
It's right there. Cool. Awesome, Wyatt. Well, it was great to have you on the show.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to meet you. I wish you the best in your endeavors.
And likewise, Tommy. Thank you for having me.